Shalom Aleichem, my friends. This is my review on the RSTNE Restoration Scripture Training Edition, put out by Moshe Yoseph Koniuchowsky. They ordered the book. I like it. The Tanakh, the Old Testament, is put in the traditional Jewish order, with the exception of Daniel. Daniel is placed between the prophets of Ezekiel and Hosea. The New Testament is also in a different order, unique. It follows the Peshitta text, the Gospel, Acts, James, Hebrews, Epistle of Peter, Epistle of John, Jude, Paul's letters, then Revelation, which removed the dispensational trap. In the glossary is a glossary of terms that he uses in the translation and in the study note. Hebrew words like yom, Aramaic words like gavra, and Greek words like parthenos. And he has a chart, a list of the annual and weekly parshas, haftorah, and readings of the New Testament. The name of the Creator and Messiah is in Hebrew fonts, such as in Genesis 2, which says, "In Yehovah Elohim formed man from the dust of the ground," etc., etc. Then in Matthew 1:1, the scroll of the generation of Yehoshua HaMoshiach, ben David, the son of Abraham. Notice he transliterates the Vav as a W, because that's how I think the Vav originally was pronounced. It's a W sound. I think this is a good thing, because it eliminates sacred name arguments. Any reader that picks it up can read this. Those who pronounce the name as Yahweh, they can pick it up and say, "And Yahweh Elohim for man." Those who think it's Yahuwah, and Yahuwah Elohim for man. Those who think it's Yehovah, like me, will say, "And Yehovah Elohim for man." The same thing with the Mashiach's name. Those who pronounce it as Yahushua can read into the scroll of the generation of Yahushua, and those who say Yehoshua can read it just as well. So it somewhat eliminates the debates in the sacred name movement. Another issue is he transliterates verses instead of translating. Genesis 1:1 in particular, Bereshit bara Elohim aleph tav hashamayim biet haaretz. The problem is this is transliteration. He did nothing for the readers. He did not clarify one of these words and what these words are. Well, the purpose of a translator is to give an English equivalent of what the Hebrew says. That's the purpose. And again, he put aleph tav instead of et there for theological reasons, and he tells you why in the study notes, because he believed that this is about Mashiach, that aleph tav is a reference to Mashiach. And notice when he says the ve'et, he transliterates the vav as a v for some reason. There's a bias in there in John 1:1, which is the Bereshit was the Miltha, the living Torah, and the living Torah was with Yehovah, and the living Torah was Yehovah. Here, Miltha, by the way, it means word, manifestation, emanation, substance, etc., etc. Then he said the living Torah. Now, Torah and word are synonymous to each other, so I could see why he did that, but then on the second time he said the living Torah. Why did he say the living Torah? Because he believed this is about Messiah, and he believed the Mashiach is the living Torah, the Torah that's in the flesh. But here he's interjecting his theology into the text here. When he does this, he's not giving you an accurate reading, because here the reading is Miltha again. So it should say in the beginning was the Miltha, or the word, and the word was with Alacha in the Aramaic, and not Yehovah, but I can see why he said Yehovah, because in the Greek it says Ton Theon, and the God is Yehovah. And the Living Torah was Yehovah. So it's another interjection of Yehovah there. In the Aramaic, it's Eloha. In Greek, it's Theos. And in Hebrew, it's just Elohim. Yehovah is an interjection for his deity of Christ bias. You're supposed to translate these verses, not interject your theology into it. 1 Corinthians 1:2, he said, to the Israelite congregation of Yehovah, which is in Corinthia, etc., etc. Now, why is this a problem? Because the word Israelite is not in any translation. He's interjecting his interpretation into it. He has two-house theology into it. By the way, I do believe in two-house, but I'm not going to interject my theology into the verse when translating. He has pseudo-Hebrew terms, like in Psalm 122:6, he has Yerushalayim, when the Hebrews Yerushalayim, Yud Rish Vav Shin Lamed Mim. You don't see any hay between the Yud and the Resh. Thus, the Yah form is unwanted. It's wanted there. It's not there. He is putting the sacred name into the word for its own agenda, and making a false Hebrew word, a no word. Here, he does the same with Yahshua. In Hebrew, it's Yasher, Yed, Shin, Resh. There's no hay between the Yud and the Shin. Again, he's making a pseudo word. This is not a Hebrew word. It does not have Yah there. And again, why did he want to do this? To push the sacred name agenda. In Psalm 38, verse 22, he did the same thing. Hurry to help me, O Yehovah, my Yahshua. In Hebrew, Teshuati, my Yeshua, Yorshin Vav Ayin Hey. You do not see a hey between the Yud and the Shin. He interjects it for a sacred name agenda, and by the way, there's a hey at the end of the ayin, so you should have had an H at the end. But by the way, this is a pseudo-Hebrew word. It's not a word in Hebrew, and even more so, he transliterates it Yahshua because he believed this is about Messiah, and this is how he pronounces the Messiah's name. Is Yahshua, even though it's clearly in violation of the Hebrew text. And he spells it as Yud-Heh Vav Shin Ayin, which is Yehoshua. And also Yehovah in the Hebrew there, where he transliterates Yehovah in the Hebrew, it's just Adonai. Then you have italicized words that are from the Messiah and from Yehovah, such as the words of Hosea 11:1 and Mark 10:3, where Yeshua said, "What did Moshe command you?" So these are the ups and downs of this translation done by Moshe Yoseph Koniuchowsky. So until next time, Shalom.